I knew it wouldn't take long, but don't worry. I'm right here to snap you guys back into reality. Let's talk.
Push the weight in no flex. Flex the livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You were when a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Now, yeah, this is sour grapes. This is sour grapes. And if you think for 2 seconds that I'm going to allow this to go unchecked, you are out your mind. You're out your mind. I'm going to take my time with this. I already did my recap of the fight, but I made a point and I'm going to drill it. So I'm not going to let the media walk off with this. I'm not going to let you primates ignore this. Some of you same primates that celebrated the valiant effort of Xander Zayas, which to me, I rewatched the fight. It wasn't valiant, man. You know what? No. I'm not giving y'all anything. When I say y'all, you know what I'm talking about. The primates, the race soldiers, the smart bombing media. And I'm gonna bring this thing to a head. And I don't care who feels what about this. I don't care, because no one cares about fairness anymore, so I don't have to be fair. No one ever cared about fairness when it came to black fighters. When it comes to black fighters, you don't. Now, is this a shot towards Xander? No. And if you think it is, let me know. And the next time I go live, I'll drop you a link and we can talk about it. This ain't no disrespect to Xander, but we're gonna keep it a bean. All right? Because I didn't want to dwell on this yesterday, but I'll talk about it today. Xander quit. Okay? I watched it again, and I watched it again. I said, nah, he quit, bro. And I know he didn't have nothing for Boots. And people could say, hey, man, he didn't quit his corner through the towel in. No, he made eye contact with his corner. And that was it right there. They said, oh, no, we better stop this. Live to fight another day. Okay? You know what a fighter just wanting to go out his shield is? Go watch Evander Holyfield versus James Lights Out Tony. He didn't ask his corner to throw the towel in. They just said, no, he's done. The corner made that decision. Go watch Diego Chico Corrales when he fought Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. His dad jumped on the apron, threw the towel in, and he ran over there and was like, no. And if I remember correctly, I think he stopped talking to his pops for a while after that. He was mad at him. These guys want to go out on their shield. All right. Xander got knocked down. He made eye contact like, yo, bro. You know what to do. A couple of more of these, you know what to do. At the end of the fight, didn't Xander admit, hey, man, I ate a body shot and there was nothing I could do? And he pretty much said, yo, no excuses. Weight wasn't the issue. And I do that for a reason. Because this is Xander Zayas who said, hey, man, I was going to walk through Devin Haney. And we're going to get to the Devin Haney portion of this video in a second. Hey, I was going to come in at 180. I was going to walk through Devin. No, he wasn't. Weight wasn't going to matter. Because all of you that said that weight was going to matter, you celebrated when Xander said if he had did business with Devin Haney, he was going to come in at 180. I didn't hear Devin say, that ain't that cheating? Ain't that? No, he didn't say it. He said, if we do business, we do business. I didn't hear Devin say anything about a catch weight or, well, you can't, if we sign a fight at 54, you can't come in at 180. Never heard Devin say that. Never heard Devin say that. Everyone wants to talk about Devin being a weight bully, though. Xander openly admitted on a podcast in an interview that he was going to walk through Devin and come in at 180 pounds. And I just looked around the internet and I said, woo, no one's going to call Zayas a weight bully. Interesting. Interesting. But you want me to be fair, though, right? You want me to be fair. Now, the interesting thing is, when I have these conversations, I don't have to lie at all. At all. All right. So that fell through. Zayas ends up fighting Boots, and we saw what happened. In shocker, we can't unsee what happened. Your man just stole your arguments. Hey, man, weight's not an excuse. Then he talked about how he ate a body shot, and that kind of like took the wind out of his sails. All right. But the funny part is, you're just reduced to saying valiant effort from Xander Zayas. Now, the interesting thing is, it's never on our time, it's always on God's time. Allah is a perfect planner. Pray to who you worship. Now, here's the deal. Not only am I not buying this valiant effort and this, that, and the third, I'm not buying that. Because the fighters that we support are never extended the same courtesy. Now, I'm talking about media and these weird fanatics. I want you to understand something. This was not a valiant effort. This dude just got beaten. He quit. Zayas quit. He did. He did. That's what's floating around the internet. But I know that y'all don't want to grandstand on it because of who said it. A couple of people said it, right? But you want to say that he had a valiant effort. Boots showed the power. He did. Zayas showed heart. He didn't. Now, what's interesting is that it's never on our time. It's on God's time. That's what I was about to say a second ago. So happens that this heart that you said that Zayas showed was in the same building where Devin Haney was robbed back in 2024 against a lying, racist drug cheat named Ryan Garcia. Devin Haney was in the ring with a guy that was overweight. They had to restructure the contract so that Ryan could come in heavy. Right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the 3 pounds? Oh, but it's only 3 pounds. No. It's 3 pounds adjusted so he can make weight the day before. What we're talking about is rehydrating. I was there that night, stood right next to Ryan. He was every bit of 180 pounds that night. 175 to 180 pounds that night. He had love handles, man. Okay? Devin Haney fought a light heavyweight where Devin Haney did the work, sacrificed in camp, made weight. And Ryan Garcia didn't do anything of the sort. In fact, he was drinking, he was smoking, and surprise, surprise, he was on drugs. And you know the story. After he was caught, he lied. And stop me when I'm lying. Now, everything that I'm telling you is true. That's what happened. But there'll be people coming in the comment section of this video right now talking about I'm making excuses. And you're the same people that applauded Xander Zayas' lack of effort Saturday night. Because that wasn't Devin Haney effort. Devin Haney, come to find out, was in the ring with an overweight drug cheat. Did Boots put a rehydration clause on Xander Zayas? Did he say, hey, man, don't do to me what you said you was going to do to Devin? Don't be coming in here at 180 pounds. He didn't say that. If he did, post a link. Because I missed it. I could be mistaken. But if he did, post a link. But I don't recall. I don't recall Boots saying, hey, man, don't be coming in here at no 180 pounds. That's cheating. After he said he was going to do that to Devin Haney and nobody said anything. I didn't hear Boots say a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Right? But in that same building, Devin Haney fights a light heavyweight who was drugged up, got dropped 3 times. I was at that fight. All of you y'all like to live by these weird highlights. No, I watched the fight. I was there live. The only rounds that Devin lost was the rounds he got knocked down in. I scored the fight a draw. But I knew that Ryan won the drama of the fight. So I knew what they were about to do. And they did it. Then come to find out, this kid cheated, and then he started lying all over the place. First it was ashwagandha, then it was perfect amino, and then it was super carb, then it was Scooter, then it was George Floyd. Then he wants to join the Ku Klux Klan and resurrect George Floyd, delete him again, and join the KKK. And all I saw the media do was pretty much say, give the kid a break. He's having issues. Adrian Broner's having issues. No one said give him a break. All I heard for years was take his money. He should never fight again. I hate this bum. That's what I heard. Y'all laughing at him right now. Right now. Y'all laughing at him right now. But 2 years later, in the same venue, the exact same venue, you see a Latino fighter in Xander Zayas, whom I do not have a problem with. But what I'm doing in this video is pointing out the obvious hypocrisy in boxing media, in racist fans, and just weird fanatics all around. I'm not lying. Everything I said right here is 100% true. If you think I'm lying, tell me who you are, and we'll chop it up when I get a chance. I'm on vacation right now. But when I get back home, we could chop it up. Respectfully. The unique thing about what I do when I talk about these fighters I have a problem with, whether it be Shakur, whether it be Tank, whether it be Floyd Schofield, Floyd Mayweather, is that I never have to lie on these guys. Especially Tank Davis. I just point and say, look at this. You cool with this? What happened to Abdul Wahid? So Zayas gets praised. Valiant effort. That was nice. He showed heart. He quit, man. I told y'all Brian Mendoza made Sebastian Fundora quit. Made him quit. And by the way, no one told Fundora to get that back in blood. Uh-oh. Slept him. And by the way, he could have got up in that fight. Fundora quit too. Brian hit him. Boom. He fell like a big old redwood tree. Boom. He sat up nice and slow, looked at the ref and smirked and said, that's enough for me today. He quit. Go watch it. He quit. He quit. Now, am I saying that Fundora's a bad kid? No. Am I saying that Zayas is a bad kid? No. But when they were getting up off the floor, they made a decision. I'd better not. I'd better not. And they didn't. They get praised. Zayas got praised in the Barclays. Devin Haney got laughed at. And then, insult to injury, you found out that there was nothing clean about that fight. And I still got airheads talking about, oh, well, why don't he run it back? Why don't he run it back with Ryan? You clearly don't follow the sport like you say you do. And then when I say something like, hey, man, get that casual thought process away from me. If you've been following this thing, you know that Ryan is the reason why this fight hasn't happened in 2 years. You're mad at me when I call you a casual. That was a casual statement. To ask me why Ryan Garcia has not rematched Devin Haney right now is you telling me you got a driver's license, and then when I sit in the passenger side, you staring at the wheel. I'm like, what's going on with you? You're like, how do I start this thing? Well, you put the key in the ignition and turn, unless it's one of these new electric cars. You told me you had a driver's license. You don't know how to start this thing? Let me out. Let me out. Let me find out you had a connection at the DMV and somebody just wrote you up and said, here, this is your license. Get out of here. You don't know what you think you know. And here's the interesting part. The interesting part is when someone like myself is trying to explain it to you. I have no agenda. I love this sport and the sport don't love me back. I don't just run around protecting fighters. I have my own brand. Because the worst thing in the world is when you're trying to protect the fighter because you quote unquote friends with them or something, and they end up doing something that you cannot justify. Imagine doing that for Adrian Broner. Imagine doing that for Floyd Mayweather. Before I was actually doing content, I was running around on the internet arguing with people over Floyd Mayweather in the mid 2000s. But when enough is enough, enough is enough. Not a flomo. Remember that? Remember that term? Flomos? Fancy word for N-bomb, but whatever. When I'm talking about the sport, they're talking about everything but the sport. They're talking about arrest records and anything but boxing. And when he finally fought Manny Pacquiao was left with the excuses. But after he finally fought Manny Pacquiao, they couldn't say, he ducks fights. What ducking fights meant, why didn't he fight Manny Pacquiao? And I was one of the people with the proof that said, hey, Manny is the one ducking the fight. What are you talking about? I don't care how you feel about Floyd. I never said he was a principled person. But Manny Pacquiao is the reason why the fight didn't happen when it was supposed to. We had to wait 4 years because of Bob Arum playing games and Manny Pacquiao not forcing the issue. We finally get the fight. It ends up exactly how I said it would end up. Manny makes excuses, like he's been making excuses. Oh, I don't want to take the OSDT. Why? I'm scared of needles. Swear to God, that was one of the excuses he said. Just one. There's a list of them. That's one. He don't want to take OSDT, which is Olympic style drug testing, because he was scared of needles. That's actually like a phobia. I forget the name of it. But I said, wait a minute. The man got tattoos. His whole camp got matching tattoos. Huh? This is what I had to deal with. So this foolishness, that might be new to y'all. I've been dealing with this a long time. And what's enraging is I didn't deal with this in the 90s. I didn't deal with this in the 80s. In the social media era, it's like the weirdos come out their mama. Well, they don't have to come out their mama basement. They can hide behind avatars and say little slick things on the internet and click a link and never turn on their camera. Listen, man. You guys are buffoons, baboons, coons, and cowardly racists. To justify Ryan Garcia makes me look at you strange, especially after everything he's done. Everything he's done. Call me a racist for pointing out racist behavior. It's been done. That tells me a lot that I need to know about you. Do you know right now online, there's still people putting up shorts talking about the biggest upset. I just saw one today, a short. Biggest upset in boxing history, Ryan and Devin. Upset? The kid cheated. He cheated. Period. And on fight night, I was at the post fight when they asked him about a rematch. Ryan said no rematch. And I'll be damned, 2 years later, did he not keep his word? Oh, I can't unsee the left hook, though. That wasn't drugs. That wasn't drugs. That's how I know you guys never participated in the sport in your life. It wasn't drugs, so why was he on him? It wasn't drugs, so why did he look so bad against Rolly Romero? It wasn't drugs? You sure it wasn't drugs? All right, so it wasn't drugs. Run it back and prove me wrong. If it wasn't drugs. What are we talking about? It wasn't drugs. So then prove it. And no one told him to get it back in blood with Rolly Romero. You guys are living, breathing, walking contradictions, and you're disgusting. You're absolutely disgusting. And it's only right. I kind of knew, I didn't know it was going to be Xander, but I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Latino fighter that fights somewhere in New York, whether it be MSG or the Barclays. And when they lose to a black fighter, They're going to praise a Latin fighter like he did something. I knew it. I just didn't know who it would be. I didn't think it was going to be Xander. But when this fight got signed, I said, they're going to the Barclays. I said, I'm not sleeping on Xander. But yo, and here we are. And again, Xander didn't do anything wrong in this. This is God saying, look at this. And I'm looking at the media and how they're treating Xander. They're applauding Xander in a losing effort. But I said, wow. When we thought Devin lost a clean one, and we tried to applaud him, I was met with, I told you he was trash. I told you he was this. I told you he was that. Man, I landed in St. Martin. I got that phone call. I said, please, God, no, I hope Ryan didn't cheat because I don't want to deal with this. I know what comes with this. I'd rather it be clean and Devin just run it back and let's see what happens. But look what happened. Not only did this kid, he found guilty cheating, but then he's trying to blame 3 different supplement companies. He's blaming Scooter and George Floyd, and he said a black man raped him in the backseat, not the backseat, in the backyard of his house or something. Something he said in the forest. And I said, well, damn, where the hell was Henry and his moms and Ryan's moms? Where were they at when this was happening? And y'all let him get away with all of this. But y'all can't unsee the left hook, though. I said it before, I say it again. I'm telling everybody, just break, whenever you hear about you can't unsee a left hook, break the Miguel Cotto-Margarito fight glass. Just break that glass because Cotto got hit with everything. And bricks or not, I can't unsee the barrage of punches that Miguel Cotto ate versus Margarito in the first fight. And for those of you that said, oh, well, Miguel just got it back in blood. He didn't sue anybody. Let me debunk you right now. Did Miguel sue? No, because he had no lawsuit. He couldn't go to court with some picture saying, he had gravel in his hand. That's not sufficient evidence. That's number one. Number two, you bust Margarito's eye up in the rematch. It was like a year later or a year or two later because Margarito was suspended. They wouldn't renew his boxing license. He had to go fight in Mexico, right? And then Bob Arum had to go get him from Mexico, pull some strings because he's the Bob father, brought him back to America to fight who? Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao bust that man's eye up first, dude. Then Miguel got his get back. You don't want to talk about that, though. Stop trying to make it seem like Miguel was some noble dude that wanted some, quote unquote, in the ring / street justice. And I'm not suing because I am a man and I don't need, you don't sue in boxing. Shut up. There's 2 losses on Miguel Cotto's record that he shouldn't have. And if there was a legal route to have gone to sue Antonio Margarito, I would have recommended that he have done it. Because that's attempted murder. The other one was him being the WBO champion at 147, but made to come in at 145 on fight night versus who? Manny Pacquiao. How are you a champion at 147, but made to come in at 145 for your belt? Who mentions that? Me, on behalf of Miguel Cotto. You guys need to stop it. By the time he fought Floyd Mayweather, he was supposed to be undefeated. We don't want to talk about that, though, do we? So before you call me racist, I would ask, where were you when I mentioned these things? Now, again, this is not a shot against Xander Zayas. Because there's a lot of kids. He didn't have to take this fight. He could have lived off of his Puerto Rican fan base and been playing online and boots you don't want it and been playing keep away and everything else. He got in that ring and he did the best he can with whatever skill set he had. And it just didn't work out for him. But this video is not against Xander Zayas. This is a reflection of the inconsistencies of boxing media and these weird ass fanatics. And what better way to say, aha, than to look at this at the Barclays, where a crime happened. And by the way, Devin dropped the lawsuit because Turkey said, man, drop the lawsuit. We'll pay you what you're suing him for. We just want you to fight Ryan again. Devin said yes. Your man Ryan said no, and he's still running. But he gets to go online saying, hey, Devin, I'm waiting. What you waiting on, dude? And you guys hear this crap and run with it. You guys make me sick. You big lip, bumpy knuckled raccoon, buffoon baboons make me sick. And you other clowns are just lost. Y'all don't know any better. No, you do know better. You just choose to behave in this way. You're fatherless and you're clueless. But shout out to Boots. Shout out to Boots. You fought in the pocket. There's still some things I'd like to see you fix. The fight I want is Boots versus Devin. I want Boots to clean up 154. It don't look like anybody on Devin's list is going to step up to the plate. They trying to get Tank, trying to get Shakur, trying to get Keyshawn. Wait your turn. You nappy-headed knuckle dragger. You fatherless nappy-headed knuckle dragger. Wait your turn. I don't know where your fan base came from, but as soon as you hit the mat, they're gonna disappear. Just like I don't know where these Brian Norman Jr. fans went. Y'all did him dirty too, but whatever, man. You dudes is clowns. You thoroughly been exposed. I know what I know. If you got a problem with anything that I said, we could talk about it. Just let me know who you are in the comment section. When I get home, we can have a conversation. If I choose to. If you're a big lip monkey that I've blocked or choose to deal with, just stay away from me. Go find your father and bring him. Send your father to come talk to me because I want to talk to him and ask him what's up with you before I speak to you. But shout out to the mighty LDBC. Shout out to DHP. Shout out to Man Down, Bomb Squad. You know what I mean? These are the people I support. Bud, please stay retired, man. You don't need to deal with this crap anymore. You're already great. Just don't let them put you in a trick bag, Bud. But just sit down and just chill, bro. Don't let these clowns do it to you. Bronx on deck.
Move!